Read Turchi live on WNCW this afternoon. You can find out all about them on their website, reedturchi.com, which has all of your tours and your favorite things. You've got a lot of favorite things.
Yeah, my friends page.
Yeah, the friends page.
Yeah, good people, from mechanics to good places to eat to guitar techs who have saved my life. It's
Many guitar people listed.
Well, I don't know why that is, but a lot of good friends. Very recently, I snapped the top off of the guitar that you can see in my hands and had that repaired last minute. So there's a friend I need to add on. The Novo folks who made the guitar that's going to be unleashed in another song or two are on there. A bunch of good people.
And you've got a lot of guitar makers in Europe. You've been widely traveled, so maybe I don't want to start with Europe quite yet, because really I think your travel started more in North Mississippi. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's definitely where I began to go on the chase of some music that I had been introduced to and that I really loved. I ended up spending a pretty good chunk of time there going down that rabbit hole.
And so you immediately find Luther Dickinson just hanging around with nothing to do and get him on your first record.
Yeah, he's pretty bored these days. The real connection was Mississippi to North Carolina transplant himself, Bill Ferris, who's been at Chapel Hill for a long time. He's the man, and he had founded the Center for Southern Folklife in Memphis, the Southern Studies program at Ole Miss, and then was at UNC with the Southern Studies program. And he knew that I was excited about that music and vouched for me with a couple of people early on when I just sort of headed 40 most of my life has been on I-40, so 40 over and drop down, but he was the bridge that made that possible, and it was the North Mississippi connections that led me to Memphis and Ardent, Memphis, the capital of North Mississippi. So
Yeah, and then wound up going to Italy, have spent time in Europe, especially, and maybe even in Africa?
No, that's just a love of music. But it's in a funny story. I met Heather, who now lives 3 houses from me, because there was an Italian guy who came to the print shop she works at, and he told her about my music that he was playing on his radio show in Rome, a guy named Gianluca Diana, who brought me over there the first time and led to that. And so Heather then came to a show Andrew and I played years ago in Nashville, but she only knew of me from going all the way to an Italian radio station DJ and back. So it's been a funny world, and thanks to the Italian connections, I met Adriano Viterbini, an phenomenal guitarist who introduced me to Desert Blues African World. He plays with a lot of those artists. That was the series of merry-go-rounds I was on.
Yeah, but there's a nice connection there, I think, stylistically, between that Tuareg style and the North Mississippi kind of style.
Oh, yeah, to be continued. I've been working on a batch of tunes specifically aimed at that intersection, and started to play some live, starting to work some out. But yeah, that's a really exciting spot.
You got a lot of records. I mean, you don't ever slow down. I mean, really, you got like 5 or 6 records in the past 5 or 6 years, right?
Hard to hit a moving target. I just try to keep moving. If Kathleen, anybody here can vouch, but Kathleen especially, if I'm sitting around with nothing to do, I cave in quickly to my own demons of failure. So I just try to keep going.
Well, I don't know. It sounds like a success from this end.
Yeah, it's great. And to get to travel with these folks, a bunch of friends, old friends, new friends, but all musicians and people I like. That's the dream.
Reed Turchi is playing in Swannanoa tonight at Native Kitchen in Wilmington, North Carolina, at the Satellite tomorrow, French Broad in Asheville on Saturday. And what are you going to play for him?
This next song goes out to one of my high school buddies I went to Asheville High, and he and his girlfriend are both teachers now, and being at Isothermal Community College, it's especially relevant. Every time that I stay with him when I tour through, the only door that he keeps locked in his house is his bourbon collection, which is how he eases his teacher's blues. So it's always very damaging, my Asheville tour stops late night. But this song, which is called Teacher's Blues, is just all stories that I'd get from him, thoroughly into our tastings. So